Coming out of turns 3 and 4. Chad White on the bottom. William Duff on the top. Checkered flag in the air. Who's going to win? It's William Duff. No, look out. He just junked it. Look out. Oh, my God. World's #1 streaming service. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. On the call tonight. On your feet. Off your seats. It's about to go green.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Homestead, Miami. Actually, we never left, baby. We were here last night to crown a champion at Average Joe's, and we're here tonight for the HMS TV Cup Series to crown a Season 1 champion. Well, spoiler alert, folks, the champ has already been crowned. So we'll get to that in just a moment, but welcome to Homestead, Miami here for the Tier 1 Setup Shop 200 here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Thanks to Tier 1 Setup Shop for the support. We'll get some details on how you can check those guys out. But speaking of Tier 1 Setup Shop, let's get down trackside here, folks. Because boy, do we have some good sharp-looking rides out there, and we'll make sure once he gets on track, we keep our eyes on Jaden Hopp, because that paint, it caught my eye during the practice session, and I tell you what, Connor, you better be paying attention, because that's one of the coolest paints I've ever seen in my life. So when he gets out there, we'll keep that in mind. Right now, we're checking out the 2 of Brian Cook. Going to be out of Unionville, North Carolina, starting his qualifying effort. Several other drivers on track right now, like Andrew Lewis, Jared Skinner, Dylan Rosenberg, Diego Sainz, Brian Samara, Dennis Orff, to name a few. Actually, let's watch the 53 here of Brian Samara out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. One of the drivers that made the chase. Connor says, surely the drone has batteries this time. I don't know if the drone has batteries, brother. We'll give her a shot here. Break out the practice drone. You know, this is not the official race drone, but we got the practice drone. Let's see if we've got batteries here in the drone. The drone is still dead, unfortunately for us. No drone cam tonight again. I thought Blake shipped us some batteries. I guess he lied to me. Top of the board right now, though, out of nowhere. The 8, Jared Skinner. And that Bubba Myers Custom Designs number 8 machine there. It's a sharp-looking ride. I've driven that paint scheme before. That's a familiar one. It looks okay with the number 8 on it. I liked it with the 97. Oh, he got mad loose out of turn 4. Hold on to it, Jared. That lap ain't going to count nothing. That's screwing his entire qualifying effort because he crossed the stripe there. No time going to be on the board for Jared Skinner. Well, I'm lying. He's actually the top of the board. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a big dummy. Let's read the chat here as he baited on the track. He has Jaden Hopp. Look at this paint scheme. Hot damn. That thing is gorgeous. I'm in love. That is one of the best paints I've ever seen. Tier 1 setup shop all over that ride. Jaden has had one of the most consistent runs out of anybody in this 5-week chase playoff, but just unfortunately for him, the 0-2 just was on top throughout the entire playoffs pretty much. They won 3 races in a row, locked the title up after last week. So it's going to be a celebration tonight of the 0-2. Ben Pierce piloting his own car tonight. We'll be talking about some more points stuff later on tonight when we have our first ever HMS TV awards show for the end of season 1. It's going to be a good time. Brian Smith driving the 25 for HMS TV Racing Team. Top of your board now. Just took the spot by about 1/10 of a second. I'm going to read this chat, get caught up here on everything. Michael Feschishin saying, let's win one for the Biff. I'm assuming he's talking about Logan Feschishin out there driving the 63. He's 5th on your board right now. Pretty good lap from Logan. So we'll see what he can do during the race. Connor Gerard in the chat as always. Crowning another champ tonight. Yes, we are. Stained Pink rooting on Jaden Hopp. I don't know where Jared came from. And Cinch McCoy doing God's work. Just ran around the block in my underwear yelling, HMS TV is live. Hope that helps. I hope it did. I hope it brought us some extra viewers. It's weird. My phone was telling me how many people were watching last night. Now it's not telling me tonight. So I'm going to be blind to that. But regardless of how many people are watching, just make sure that you can like and subscribe. I think we don't have anybody on track right now. Qualifying just wrapped up. We're going to have a brief warm-up here, and we'll get into the race here soon. While race control is giving everybody his debrief, I'm going to go ahead and debrief you on something you guys need to check out. The High Proof Showdown, Saturday, August 15th. Going to be going live at 8:30 p.m. 75 laps at Talladega in the next gen. This is put on by the guys over at BAC Casting and Drafting. It's going to be Andy Lewis and the boys. He's out there on track in the 98 here tonight. If you want to register, scan that QR code bottom left of your screen, or hit us up in our own Discord and we can point you in the right direction. Going to be a good event put on by good people. Who knows? I might be out there racing. We'll have to wait and see as this warm-up gets underway. We'll be getting this thing started very soon, but for now we're going to go ahead and take our quick break before we get into the night's starting grid. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Todd Gilliland here. You're tuned into the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord channel so you never miss a moment of the action. Did America's crew chief already tell you that?
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is the world's #1 streaming service. From over-the-top calls to electrifying action, we bring it all to the table.
The whole field's chunking it. It's a drag race to the checkered flag in the air. Justin Thompson wins the Harpoon Design 500.
But the action doesn't just stop when the stream ends. Whether you're looking for a broadcaster or looking to secure your spot in our next special event, the best way to get a hold of us, and the only way to enter our exclusive events, is to join the HMS TV Discord server.
Don't get left on the trailer. What are you waiting for? Join the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Discord community today by scanning the QR code shown on your screen. We'll see you there.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
Back with you here at Homestead Miami Speedway. And the warm-up is over pretty soon. Just momentarily, we're going to be getting into tonight's starting grid. But before that, I want to give everybody a sneak peek into the standings heading into this race. As I mentioned, championship is already decided, but Powerhouse Racing locks it up with that 0-2 car after 3 wins in a row in the chase. That was unprecedented. Let's be real, probably why real-life NASCAR didn't do the chase for so long, but nonetheless, Tier 1 Racing, Jaden Hopp been piloting that machine to a second place, but the 25 car, Brian Smith behind the wheel on the pole tonight, he's within striking distance to get that second spot. Then you can see the rest 4th through 10th there, all spread out what battles we'll have. The only other battle we'll have to really pay attention to tonight is just how HMS TV Racing team as a whole does compared to Juicy Spider Racing. So I'll try to keep you updated on that as I remember, because that is a bit of a close battle, and that'll be for the team pot of $200. So serious money on the line here tonight for those guys. Yellow flag is out for the grid, folks. It's funny that SDK shows that when the pace lap gets added, but nonetheless, it's time for the night's starting grid. On your front row, on the pole position, the 25 HMS TV machine, Brian Smith, going to be next to Jared Skinner in the 8 Juicy Spider Racing Chevy. Row 2's got the 1 of Jaden Hopp, going to be next to the 97 Diego Sainz. On row number 3, the 22 of Josh Adams, he's going to be starting next to the 7 of Peyton Howell, who's going to the back with an EOL. Row number 4, Logan Feschischen in the 63. He's going to be next to the 33 of Bryce Senezak, who's been driving the 18 as of recently. Row number 5, Terry Vincent in the 5. He's going to be starting next to Cam Ingram in that number 17 Gunslingers Ford. Row number 6, Dylan Rosenberg in the 40. Nexus Designs on the car. He's going to be next to the 28 of Chad White. And his paint does not look like that. I don't know why his paint didn't load specifically. Row 7, the 84, Lilith Peters, going to be next to the 27, Matthew Byers. Row number 8, Nick Hapiak in the 06. He's starting next to the 02 of Ben Pierce. Row number 9, you've got the 89, Dennis Orff, Prime Focus Powder Hustle Fuel Ford Mustang, going to be next to fan favorite Darrell Young Jr. in the number 71. Row 10, you've got the 10, Stephen Blevins. He's going to be next to that 18 of Forrest Smith. Row 11, Andy Lewis in the 98. He's going to be next to the 26 of Justin Rosema. Row 12, it's JT Tinker in the 93, next to Brian Cook in the 2. Row 13, Brian Samara in the 53, Chris Otto in the 11. Row 14, the 3 of Hunter Haskell, the 6 of Dylan Alt. Row 15, the 0 of Steve Tucker, the 01 of Austin Norris. And rounding out tonight's lineup, going to be the 42, Chris Bishop, the 51 of Douglas Ivey, and the 16 of Austin Oliver. Lights are off on the pace truck. We're going green this time around. Get on your feet, off of your seats. Green flag is in the air for the first time here in the HMS TV Cup Series Season 1 finale. We've got one in the fence already. Get out of the fence. You're glued in the fence. Go, buddy, go. That was the 17 of Cam Ingram. He got glued to the fence like it was a sticky trap, and he could not get out of it. Thankfully, they keep it together. Nobody wrecks. He just kept hitting the wall like he was having fun doing it. He lost several spots, down 3, just like that. Dennis Orff took a huge advantage of it. He gained 5 spots on that start. So, craziness happening here. Brian Smith in the 25. He's going to lead lap 1. He's got side-by-side behind him Jared Skinner, Jaden Hopp duking it out for second. What a start to this race. Wow, wow, wow. Looks like Jaden Hopp going to get into that second spot without too much of an issue. He's going to try to chase that 25 down of Brian Smith. Keep in mind that somebody wins this race, they get 20 extra points compared to anybody else. So if this race was to finish like it is right now, Brian Smith and Jaden Hopp are only separated by 1 point. But Brian Smith would get that 25 car into second place in the chase standings. So it only takes 1 spot, depending on if you're in the front of the field. Jaden Hopp, though, quickest lap of the race. He's right on his back bumper. Not going to let him get far. These guys are going to stay single file for most of the front of your field. The drop back here towards Lilith Peters in that 84. That's where you find your first side-by-side battle. But look at the back of the field. We got people swerving all over the place. There's action going around everywhere. Lap 3 is done and gone. We've got a stage here tonight at lap 50. We're going to pay out your top 10. We're not going to have a live update on the points because, well, the guy that usually does the live updates is talking to you right now. So, it'll be a little tough for me to do that. Christian, if you're listening to me, maybe you can throw you a notepad up somewhere and write down what the points are right now and then do the math for the stage for me. But if not, that is fine. I ain't that worried about it. We know who won the title. Single file, your first 8 cars, first 11 cars actually. Lilith Peters just got into the wall a little bit. That's going to be Dylan Rosenberg in the 40. Going to try to take that spot over on the bottom. Lilith Peters out of Tampa, Florida. I believe this is the first start that she's had in the 84. I know she's been driving the other Tier 1 racing machines, the 01, the 11. That's the one thing that's the beauty of the HMS TV Cup Series, folks. You've been seeing it every week. It's a very unique thing. I ain't seen it in another league before where the owners have control of who's in their car, you know. It's you don't just get your car number and you have to race that car number every season. It's basically a free agent market, you know. If you are going to miss a race or something like that, you need somebody in your ride, somebody can fill in for you. And you can still get charter points. So I think it's a pretty cool, unique system that we have here. And I can't wait for it to continue for Season 2. Got a battle between a couple of Mustang here. Dylan Alt, Cam Ingram. I mean, look at Dylan Alt, and that's 6. I mean, it's not like you can be surprised, honestly, but we take a look at our biggest movers board. Dylan Alt up 15 spots. He qualified way back in your field, but the guy's a freaking coke driver. Of course he's fast. He's made his way up to 13th here in 7 laps. So he's going to be one to watch. Up also 9 spots is Steve Tucker. He started way back in your field. He's making his way forward. Hopefully we don't have any blinkage out of Steve Tucker here tonight. Cinch McCoy letting us know in the chat, FYI, Brian Smith's dog's name is George and confirmed he lets him drive. Well, I can tell you this, George is one hell of a wheel dog. He's got this thing out front. Northville, Michigan native dog, Brian Smith, and his dog George leading the way. Jaden Hopp, though, right on his tail. He's not letting him get far. We hop on board with this number 1 machine. Got the telemetry for you here tonight. Look at that shot. Look at that beautiful logo right on the back of that Ford Mustang. HMSTV.com logo on that 25. Good battles up front here early. Uh-oh, caution is out just as I say it. Steve Tucker is sideways on the track, and he had this to say about it.
I mean, why?
The yellow flag.
So, Steve not happy. Let's go back and take a look here from up high in the sky in the HMS TV blimp. Oh man, looks like the 7 just got on his bumper, got him loose, and that's going to be caution number 1 here. We'll back this thing up manually, get on board with that 7, see if we miss something to start this thing out, but it really looks like he just kind of runs him over here. Let's hop on board. Yeah, I don't know if Peyton Howell has something against Steve Tucker or it was just an accident, but he definitely didn't use the brake pedal whatsoever, just kind of ran him over. Steve Tucker was on the move, but now he's in the back of the field. And folks, the 7 of Peyton Howell just admitted fault to that one, so he's going to be going to the back too. But we've got pit stops. Diego Sainz, the first one to stay out. He's followed by Logan Festitian, Terry Vincent, Dylan Rosenberg, and Dylan Alt. But a lot of your people in the front of your field heading down pit lane. Keep in mind, 50% fuel in the tanks of these cars. In fact, we'll show it all here for you on your screen. Tier 1 Setup Shop 200, 5 sets of tires, 50% fuel, no fast repairs, 3 green-white checkered attempts. So, these guys coming in getting a fuel. Fuel matters a lot in this series. With 50% fuel, you got to keep track of how much you got in your tank. It's very easy to run out. One thing that we did as a series, we had some drivers talking about how the stage was timed to where basically the end of the stage would be right as you're running out of fuel. So then you'd have people that were greedy about their fuel and they wanted the stage points, so they'd stay out and get the stage points and then run out of fuel. And what that would do is black flag basically everyone behind them that passes them. So what we did as a league, we decided to extend the stages just a little bit to make sure we forced a pit stop. So that has changed things a little bit here these last couple races, and it'll be that way for season number 2 as we're getting ready to get this thing gridded back up here. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight for the HMS TV Cup Series season finale here at Homestead. Make sure you hit that like button if you're out there watching. Saw there was 20-something people watching and only 3 likes. That math isn't mathing. Figure that out. Drink you some hustle fuel and hit that like button. I heard if you hit the like button after you drink some hustle fuel, it counts as 2 likes. I mean, I'm not positive, but that's what I've heard. Cinch McCoy in the chat says, Caution 1, Tucker too slow. Drive it faster. You know what? I agree. You're right. JT Tinker with some beautiful race audio here for us before we go green.
He did what, Chuck?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Diego Sainz. I thought it was JT. Nonetheless. Pace car lights are off. He's turning left, getting off track. Diego Sainz, Logan Festitian lead him to green for restart number 1 here at Homestead, Miami. Into the restart zone they go. Green flag, back out. Logan Festitian spinning the tires. He gathers it back up. Everybody stays alive. Look how spread out they got. I think grip is hard to come by here as we look at our weather. You can see how hot this track is. 128 degrees on the track surface. I can almost see a little bit of a haze from the heat. I don't know if it comes through on the stream, but it is hot out there as we've got a side-by-side battle for your lead. Vincent, Sainz, Alt, Festitian, all battling here, this group of 4 cars. Terry Vincent going to lead lap 13. We do have our Paint of the Night finalists. We'll do our best to cycle through and get our eyes on them. Paint Scheme of the Night contenders are the 84, the 2, the 1, and the 51. All good choices for sure. The 84 right here, Red Bull styled car here for Lilith Peters. That's a good one to keep an eye on. The 1, Jaden Hopp. I mean, that's my favorite. That's an absolutely gorgeous paint scheme. Shout out to whoever painted that because that thing is beautiful looking. Get a bit of a closer shot on that thing as he's about to run Brian Smith over here in the middle of your field. The 2 car going to be Brian Cook. Kellogg's on the car. Beautiful looking throwback machine there for the 2 of Brian Cook. And your final paint scheme finalist of the night, a heartfelt tribute to Average Joe's driver Willie Smith, who unfortunately unexpectedly passed away yesterday. So Doug Ivey, an Average Joe's driver, got him represented here with the number 51 car. Uh-oh, they're wrecking. We got the 8 car Jared Skinner's backwards. Daryl Young, Austin Oliver locked it down. Oh no, we've got beef. We got big time beef in the radio. I think we've got some radio here. I think it's Brian Cook, but I could be wrong. Listen in.
JT, I just called out wreck on back. You're going to come down full speed.
He is not happy with JT Tinker. Let's take a look at what happened here. Oh, boy. There was a 3-wide situation. Not a huge deal. Unfortunate. Let's ride on board with Darrell Young Jr. through that one here. That's a whole big old windshield full of the fish car there. Not where you want to be. Darrell was kind of middle of this 3-wide sandwich. Jared Skinner just, I think, thought he had more room than he actually did, and that's all that happened there. And I kind of want to figure out what's got Brian Cook so upset if it was him. Let's hop outside the car here, rewind it a little bit. I think he gets ass packed here by the 93. Oh, the 16 Austin Oliver got smoked, that's for sure. Brian Cook is mad for Austin Oliver, basically, there. Lots of pit stops happening. Jaden Hopp going to take the lead over. We're going to step aside for a quick break. Be back with you on the other side. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Are you sick and tired of the endless scrolling on boring websites who just simply don't understand who you are? We've all been there. Well, look no more, because the world's #1 streaming service is now online. HutchinsonMotorsportsTV.com. We'll see you there.
And no, I cannot manage to do points. And
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, back with you here at Homestead. Nick Hapiak, Jared Hopp, or I don't know why I keep calling him Jared Hopp. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'll get over that eventually, though. Jaden Hopp, Nick Hapiak going to lead him to green. The 06, Nick Hapiak with some damage on the nose of that Chevy Camaro. We'll see how big of an impact that plays here. Pace truck is off. Jaden Hopp going to lead him through the restart zone. Green flags back out for restart number 2. Let's see if we can keep it clean and green to the stage here. As the field comes around. Cranking it up a little bit for you at home. I don't know how these cameramen lay on the wall so close to these cars. You'd think the wind would be dragging them off. Jaden Hopp out to a big lead quick, almost a second lead over Nick Hapiak and Bryce Senezak. Running third right now in that 33 machine. He's doing a great job. Oh, car around, it's Dylan Alt. Sideways on the backstretch. Oh, and the 27 of Byers goes around late. Steve Tucker is sideways and stopped on the track again. And we are under caution number 3 here at Homestead, folks. 22 laps in, third caution. Let's take a look from the HMS TV chopper cam at what happened here to Dylan Alt. Let's rewind it just a smidge here. It seems to be jumping too close to the incident for my liking. 3 wide situation again. You got the 10 up near the wall. The 22 just kind of squeezes the 6 up into the 10 there. That's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if I'd put that on the 6 or the 22 personally, but nonetheless, we're under caution once again. See if we can see what happened to Matthew Byers with a little more detail here. And he was just slowing down, and his car he just lost it, and ooh, gets some damage, unfortunately. I think that was Dennis Orff that just caught him there. Nowhere to really go. 27 of Byers. He's kind of a bystander, and now he's going to be heading into pit lane for repairs, because I'm sure that hurt the car a little bit. Yeah, you can see the front of that Ford Mustang's bent up slightly. As pit stops are happening, your front car is still the same. Jaden Hopp, Nick Hapiak, Bryce Senizak. As we're about halfway through the stage. I think these guys should be able to make it on fuel. Otherwise, I think they would have came down pit road again already. Hope everybody's having a good night. Let me know in the chat who you're rooting on to win this race. It seems like it's a free-for-all. Any man can take this one home. You got the fast guys getting caught up in junk. You have people like Steve Tucker, Dylan Alt, who gain tons of spots and then find themselves in the wrong spot at the wrong time. We'll scope it in the chat. Clearing on Jaden Hopp. IHOP, International House of Passing People. That's actually hilarious. Cinch McCoy claps back and says Hop gonna get eaten by Brian Smith and George. Will Scope It replies, Hop has the rest of the lobby looking like they ordered from the kids menu. Cinch McCoy with the description of the caution. Alt the meat of a sloppy Joe sandwich. Or, not sandwich, sandwich. And brake pedal on the left. The 22 taking claim for that one.
The 22 claims caution number 3.
So he will be getting an EOL going to the back. Got a couple other people getting EOLs here late. We'll see as they get stuff sorted back out. We've got the same front row as we did the time before. And see if we can make it to the end of the stage clean and green. Jaden Hopp, Nick Hapiak into the restart zone. Green flag back out for the 4th time. The one of Jaden Hopp getting a hole shot. He's way out in the front. Nick Hapiak was snoozing. Brian Smith in the 25. He's going to try to look to take that 2nd spot over after leading early on in this race. Not going to make it easy as Nick Hapiak. Hapiak definitely's got some speed. He's no slouch. But he's got a damaged car and older tires, so I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold these guys off. Well, he potentially... I think he has the same tires as these guys. I think a lot of people saved a set here in stage number 1. Pit stops here at the front of your field were very short. If we take a look here at your top 20 last pit stops... Saying Hop, Hapiak, and Smith might have taken 2 tires. I don't think that's the case, though. I think I have my inputs set wrong. So tell these guys real quick not to junk it while I fix that. They just need to keep it clean, you know? Now let's see, it should show them as fuel only. And it does, beautiful. You can see your first person on fresh tires is going to be Terry Vincent and Bryce Senizak running 4th and 5th. Watch for them to make some moves up through the field. on the fresh rubber. As Jaden Hopp trying to run away again. Lead up to about a second over Nick Hapiak in second place. Brian Smith in third. He's got Terry Vincent on his back bumper. Brett Bullard in the chat. He's going to be rooting on that number 1 Jaden Hopp machine from Tier 1 Setup Shop. Brett, let them know in the chat how they can get in contact with you guys. I did hear something about a free trial, so that's something people can check out. 7-day free trial for Tier 1 Setup Shop. Look at this battle for 6th. The Diego Sainz, Bryce Senizak going to be side by side. Heading down into turn 1. They've got Logan Festchishin there behind him. It's so natural to think that's Aaron Poplin in that 63, but it is not. Poplin taking the week off here in the finale. Oh, hold on to it back there, Brian Cook. Saw that Kellogg's machine getting way loose back there. Looks like he gathered it back up just fine. He's got Hunter Haskell in the 3 to his outside here. We've also got one of the Tier 1 Setup Shop machines right there in front of him. It looks to be a lap down. I think that's Chris Otto. So, a lot of people have work to do here early. Damage to several cars early. As people work to make their way back forward, regain their laps. It's getting pretty settled out here at the front of your field. Jaden Hopp leads the way. Brian Smith out of Northville, Michigan. Him and George are in second. Third place goes to Peyton Howell in the 7. He's been on the move. Radford, Virginia. He qualified in 6th and then had to go to the back with that EOL from last week's Noah Ward driving that 7. Peyton Howell doing a good job piloting that thing other than running Steve Tucker over. Terry Vincent in 4th, Anderson, South Carolina. He's running up front here on the fresh tires. And then Nick Hapiak is still hanging on to a top 5 spot with a damaged car and old tires. Bryce Senizak in the 33, Fort Wayne, Indiana, racing for Powerhouse Racing here tonight. Dylan Rosenberg in the 40, Bath PA in 8th, 9th. Steve Tucker's made his way through the chaos from not Boston, Massachusetts, running in 9th, and then 10th you got the 8 machine Jared Skinner out of Peoria, Illinois. Let's take a look throughout your field here. What kind of battles we've got brewing. This is Ben Pierce here in the 02. Working on one of his own cars there in the 18. That's Forrest Smith. Now, Ben Pierce, this has got to be a pretty cool feeling as we watch this 02 rip it around. He gets to drive his own car to the finish line in this race. And that's a championship winning machine. The 02 officially is your charter points winner. No wins on the season until the playoffs, and then popped off for 3 straight wins the last 3 weeks. Locked the title up for that 02. So he gets to pilot that car, no worries about points, locked the thing up, and he's still got it up in 13th. So we'll be talking to Ben Pierce after this race is over as part of our HMS TV awards show. So make sure you stick around after the race for that. It's sure to be a good time. We'll be talking to different drivers, giving out several different awards. And there's a couple surprises that nobody even knows about, so that'll be exciting. We hop back up towards the front. We check out that number 40 Nexus Designs machine, Dylan Rosenberg, right there with the 33 of Bryce Senizak. I do like that paint scheme on the 33. Got the jaws going on with the teeth. It's a pretty sick looking ride. Then you got Steve Tucker and Nick Hapiak battling it out right behind him. Steve Tucker, a big fan of Hey Dudes. I think my wife used to wear Hey Dudes before she started getting screwed up feet. Now she's a Brooks girl. Brett Bullard in the chat says, congrats to the O2 team, well deserved. Yeah, I was talking to Brett on the side earlier today, and we mentioned the championship and everything, and the fact that I keep calling him Jared Hopp. It's Jaden Hopp has been so good in this playoffs. He's been finishing top 3 like every race, and he's been consistent as heck, but unfortunately for him, you know, that O2 car had just been that little bit better with the 3 wins in a row, and that's all it took. Any other car, and that one has the championship pretty much locked up, but nonetheless, he put up a good fight. Another Tier 1 machine here, Lilith Peters in the 84, running back in 18th. There's two of the Tier 1 racing cars right here with each other. That's Lilith Peters and Austin Norris on your screen, 18th and 19th respectively. 13 laps to go in the stage. Here's Logan Festischen running 11th out of, well, formerly out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. He's done moved back up to New York. See you later, bud. Nonetheless, driving for Aaron Poplin in the 63 tonight, doing a pretty good job filling in, running right outside the top 10. Let's be real, Aaron Poplin carried Team BCI this season. Brian Samara may have made the playoffs, but Team BCI has been on the back of that 63 all season. Connor Gerard with a really good point about the O2 machine here. Make sure I mention this. You see him here on your screen, Ben Pierce piloting it. Connor says in the chat, definitely a great season for the O2 team. I think a paint scheme of the night early in the season really helped. I think you have a great point, Connor. You're very, very, very true there. Look at this battle between two teammates. Jared Skinner, Nick Hapiak, both part of Juicy Spider Racing. They're trying to win the team pot here tonight. The team championship, spoiler alert, Powerhouse Racing, after just being absolute tanks throughout the regular season. And then the playoffs, they win the team championship, but unique to HMS TV Cup Series, there was a separate pot that people could pay into, and you know, the pot gets collected, and whichever team out of the teams that paid in that had the most points at the end of the season will get to split the pot. And it's actually a pretty tight battle between the HMS TV Racing team and Juicy Spider Racing. If I get you the details here, Powerhouse Racing with a mega lead. 856 points is what they have. But between HMS TV Racing Team and Juicy Spider Racing, it's only separated coming into tonight by 13 points. So we're going to have to do the math after this one's over to determine who is going to be the team pot winner. Brett Bullard says Jaden will win driver championship if he finishes well tonight. Run wasn't for nothing. I think he actually pretty much has it locked up. I'd be shocked if he found a way to lose it. I think he was up by like 50-something points, so he's looking pretty secure from what I can tell. So he's definitely had a great season. Cinch McCoy says my drivers are Lil Peters, Forrest, and DYJ, Daryl Young Jr. And they all going to cost me millions tonight unless they pick it up. Yeah. Where's Daryl running right now? Daryl back in 23rd. Car looking beautiful, Harpoon Design paint scheme. The driver is not quick enough to match how good that car looks, though, unfortunately. Diego Sainz fighting with the 7 of Peyton Howell. This is a battle for third. Diego Sainz going to take that spot over. 7 laps to go in the stage here tonight. Steve Tucker has made his way up to 7th, trying to take the 6th spot over from Bryce Senezak. Looks like he's going to make that pass. So we take a look at your biggest gainers, your hard charger board. Steve Tucker tops that list, 23 spots gained. It's bouncing between 22 and 23 as these two battle. Other notables on that list up double digits: Brian Samara, Douglas Ivey, Austin Norris. Unfortunately, your biggest losers right now, the 22 Josh Adams was running up near the front. He had to take an EOL for that caution cause, finds himself in the back. JT Tinker, Jared Skinner, Matt Byers, Darrell Young Jr. round out that list. And if you're curious about who's fastest on the track right now, it's that number 6 machine, Dylan Alt. He is quickest on your track, but unfortunately for him, he's running tail into your lead lap right now. So we know that car's fast. If he can get the track position, he's definitely going to be a threat, but it's a matter of if he can get that track position or not, because Jared... If I say Jared one more time, his name is Jaden Hop. I'm going to say it 3 times, try to remember it. Jaden Hop, Jaden Hop, Jaden Hop. Holy smokes. Wow. Now, I don't know if the transcript's correct, folks, but Peyton Howell, we'll see what this plays. Okay, absolutely nothing. For some reason, the transcript says, "I'm sorry," just over and over and over again, and I thought he was really apologizing heartfeltly to somebody, but turns out not to be the case. Stain Pink says, "Let's go, Jaden. You have fans in the double digits watching tonight and always." And I mean, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again all night. This paint scheme is just gorgeous. I mean, I want to become a part of Tier 1 Racing just to see if I could get my my hands on that paint scheme so I could drive it, because that thing is absolutely beautiful. I'm not jealous whatsoever. Hopping back in your field, Jared Skinner and Logan Festischen duking it out. Festischen in the 9th spot, Skinner in the 10th spot. Skinner qualified up near the front, but he finds himself dropping some spots here so far. As we're getting close to the white flag of the stage, Logan Festischen hard into the fence. That's going to be stage. Caution going to fly. Logan Festischen has junked the 63. We saw it almost live on screen. He just lost control. Chad White questioning what happened here.
BCI on BCI violence?
We'll see if that's the case. Let's take a look from the HMS TV chopper at the end of stage 1. Just going in the corner. You see him lose it, and it just snaps to the outside. And yeah, unfortunately for Brian Samara, he takes a hard hit. That's going to be the end of the stage. Jaden Hop gets the stage win. Brian Smith, Diego Sainz, Peyton Howell, Terry Vincent round out your top 5 here in the stage. As they catch up to the pace car, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break and be back with you here on the other side. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Hey guys, it's NASCAR driver Matt DiBenedetto, and you are watching Hutchinson Motorsports TV, America's #1 iRacing broadcast service. So be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube today. It'll be the best decision you've ever made, so you can watch us sim racers go at it on the track.
Ladies and gentlemen, back with you here at Homestead, Miami for our first restart after the end of the stage. Jaden Hopp won the stage. He's going to lead him to green. But Brian Smith in that 25 going to be on his outside. It's going to be a good one here to finish the season. Logan Festician in the chat says that hurted. Pace truck is off. Field is set into the restart zone. Green flag is waving. Jaden Hopp gets a good jump. A little bit of tire spin perhaps from the 25. Not much, but it looked like the back end of that car jumped out just a smidge. He gets her going though. Single file wrapping around the bottom. First car out of line is going to be Cam Ingram, that number 17. As they look to get settled out. No crazy pit strategies for anybody. Everybody's on 4 fresh tires and a full tank of Sunoco Racing fuel. That #1 machine for Jaden Hopp is on a rail tonight. Look at the lead he's already building. The gap right now is 0.67. So if that tells you anything, he might be destined to win this race. I love Connor Gerard cheering Logan up in the chat, telling him, you have next season, Logan. Yeah, breaking news, folks. Logan Festician, actually a car owner for Season 2 of the HMS TV Cup Series. So, everybody else, look out. Especially if you come to Homestead, you better watch your back. No, Logan, I love you, buddy. Look at this single file for your first 15 cars or so. We take a look at Steve Tucker here in the 0 on your screen from Not Boston, Massachusetts. He's finally got him some track position here tonight, and he hasn't seemed to be having any issues so far, so things are looking up in the Tucker household. Wouldn't it be something if somebody like Dale Jr. could afford a Cup Series charter like you can? That'd be crazy. I know for sure he's driven the 18. I feel like he might have been behind the wheel of the 20 as well. Now he's driving the 33. Drop a little farther back. Look at this 3-wide action. Dylan Alt, Dylan Rosenberg, Douglas Ivey, duking it out. Whole bunch of D's, a whole bunch of alliteration happening. Look at this drag race down the front stretch. None of them willing to give an inch here. Gotta love it. Ooh, maybe some contact there between the two Dylans. They were definitely close. Whoa, the 0-2, Ben Pierce is loose as a goose. Hold on to it, Ben. He's sideways. I think that might stay green here. He's the only single car spin. And yes, no caution flag gonna fly for that one, unfortunately for Ben. Oh no, he's into the wall again. Oh, them hot tires. I believe in you, Ben. You can get it figured out. Thankfully for him, he doesn't have to worry about points at all tonight, but Jaden Hopp is flying up towards the scene of the crime, but I think Ben done got out of the way and should be good to go. Take a look at the out the back end of this one machine. Look at that gap, over a second now back, as Ben Pierce was coming off what looked like to be a road course section of the track there, entering pit lane. What a race so far. We're creeping up on the halfway point. Creeping up towards lap 6, 7. Jared Skinner running 8th now out of Peoria, Illinois, trying to do his best to lift Juicy Spider Racing towards a team pot win here. He's got teammate Andrew Lewis 2 spots behind him. Haven't talked about him much tonight in that number 98. So right now your top 2 Juicy Spider machines is going to be in 8th and 10th. Whereas your top HMS TV Racing cars are going to be Brian Smith in the 25, Chad White in the 28. Going to be 2nd and 11th. So right now HMS TV Racing team's got that thing locked down. But anything can happen, folks. I'm not sure why Chad White's paint hasn't loaded. Usually Chad has a banger of a paint, so I feel kind of bad for him that we're looking at whatever in the world this is on my screen. I would refresh, but I'd be scared it would break something else. So, nonetheless, unfortunate for the 28. Just imagine a really cool paint scheme on that machine. Uh-oh. Potentially some beef happening here between Dylan Rosenberg and Josh Adams here. Take a listen.
I don't really know what else you want me to do. I was coming on your outside, you came up.
And this was Dylan Rosenberg just before that.
Thanks, Josh.
He just sounds so dejected. Yeah, he definitely had something happen. He finds himself all the way back here in 23rd. They're still clean and green, but I'm going to see if we can spot what happened to Dylan here. Oh yeah, just kind of got hooked there. Ended up regaining control from what I could tell. But yeah, finds himself back running 22nd. Not where the 40 wants to be here on lap 65. Uh-oh, and we've got action. Yellow flag is out. That was the 3 Hunter Haskell with his battered and bruised Chevrolet Camaro sideways on the track. He's got somebody creeping slow right in front of him. Mobile 1 machine. I'm not exactly positive who that is, but I would assume they were involved. Maybe Stephen Blevins. Let's take a look at what happened to the 3 Hunter Haskell. Oh, looks like a solo spin. Ends up correcting back up the track. Locks it down, but so did the 10 of Stephen Blevins. He locked it down too hard, lost control. He smacked the outside wall himself. Let's ride on board with Blevins through this one. Unfortunate for the 10 of Blevins. He was having kind of a quiet night. Unfortunate as well for Hunter Haskell. That car has seen much better days. We've got a bunch of cars coming down pit road. Jaden Hopp leads the way. Let's see if anybody goes for any wacky pit strategy. Josh Adams catching up to your field here. We're going to see if he stays out or if he pits. Or as of right now, it looks like everybody coming down. First off pit road, no surprise, going to be Jaden Hopp continuing to lead the way. Hopp looks like fuel only that time. Everybody else is taking tires. That could be a big-time game changer here. Absolutely something to keep an eye on. Hopp going to restart up front, but he's going to be on old rubber compared to pretty much the rest of the field. We take a look at your last pit stop stats. Jaden Hopp, fuel only. Forrest Smith also went fuel only, as well as Austin Norris, but pretty much everybody else going with 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. The 0-2 of Ben Pierce. He's going to get himself a wave around. I think that should put him back on the lead lap potentially. I'll have to wait and see what happens. One to go here. We'll see if we'll be going green this time around or if we're going to have an extra pace lap here to let people get caught up. As lap 67 just finished up, and we're in between the 2 greatest lap numbers of all time. Thanks again to everybody tuning in tonight here for the HMS TV season finale. We're crowning a champion. We got some special prizes given out to drivers and owners with the HMS Cup Series awards show taking place immediately after this race. So make sure you stick around for that. It's going to be a good time. One more pace lap around for these drivers here. Everybody get caught up, settled in. A little bit of conversation between Chad White and Darrell Young Jr. here.
Hey, Darrell.
Yes.
You.
Chad White telling Darrell Young how he feels about him. Connor Gerard with the updates in the chat. Ray Phoenix wins against JD. Shout out Ray Phoenix. Lights are off on the pace truck. Stained Pink in the chat says, gonna miss these Friday races. I'm gonna miss them too, man, but we'll be back for season 2 before we know it. First race gonna be, I believe, start of September. It'd be kind of sad if I don't know my own schedule here. Let's see, was I right? August 28th is gonna be Daytona, so start of season 2. Gonna be August 28th. As the field is set and they're getting ready to go back green flag racing for the 6th time here tonight. Jaden Hopp, Brian Smith lead the way. Jaden Hopp on old tires, Brian Smith on freshies. Watch for tire spin out of the 1 here. Green flag gonna be back in the air. We got some junk in the back. That's Doug Ivey. No caution gonna fly. A single car incident. Unfortunate for the 51. Gonna have to wait for a caution to get caught back up to the rest of this field. All sorts of action happening all throughout your field, but right now Jaden Hopp gonna try to get out to a big lead once again. We'll see if he can do it. And we've got radio confirmation What happened to Doug Ivy here?
Hey, if I fucked up anybody, not bad. My screen just reset. So
Apologies for the F-bomb there, folks. The app did not catch it. That'll happen sometimes. I think you get one. I think you get one F-bomb, and you're fine. So hopefully we don't have another one. Brian Smith just set the fastest lap of the race last time around, 33.45. We'll take a look here. It shows a 33.44 on here. Those are your fast 5 laps here on the night. Fastest on the track right now. A little buggy because it has been less than 5 laps since they went green, so we'll check back on that in a few minutes when that's updated. But we're checking out what could be a battle for the lead brewing here. In fact, I'm surprised it hasn't started to become a battle already, because Hop is on older tires compared to basically the rest of the field. And he's still holding for the lead for just a moment. I don't think it's going to last much longer, though. Brian Smith to the inside down the front stretch. He's going to be taking the lead over here. 25 into the lead. Jaden Hop going to stay second. Peyton Howell having a great run in this number 7 car. He's had his share of adversity tonight. He's gotten sent to the back twice. He's played the strategy game to get himself some track position to get to the front of this field. Don't mind the alerts there on the bottom of your screen. They're all getting caught up from throughout the race. I just turned it on. So don't mind those, folks. Pass for second. No, or I almost called him no award, but Peyton Howell gets up into that second spot. Let's go throughout your field here. Check out some other battles here. Jaden Hop currently sitting in third. He's got Steve Tucker right behind him, though, looking to take that spot over any minute. Hop's going to start falling back here on the older tires. Tucker in fourth out of Knott, Boston, Massachusetts, in that number 0 machine. A little bit of Season 2 news. Steve Tucker's bringing his own race team for Season number 2. Gonna have 2 cars out there in the field owned by Steve Tucker. So be sure to look out for that as he's looking to get by Jaden Hop in that one. Jumping back to Chad White, running in 14th. He's battling with Darrell Young Jr. right now. They're duking it out for that 13th spot. Matt Byers in the 27, running the high line right behind them, trying to sneak his way up in there. Peyton Howell jumping back up front. He's pretty close to the back bumper of your leader, Brian Smith, here, so keep your eye on that as well. Whoa, Diego Sainz in that 97 got a little loose. That's going to let Dylan Alt get underneath him. Tier 1 setup shop machine, Hustle Fuel on the car. Well, it's a Hustle Fuel performance car with Tier 1 on the car, is how I should phrase that. Of course, Diego Sainz, Brewer Motorsports, number 97. That team's coming back next season, so they'll be out there driving them Ford Mustangs. Peyton Howell doing a good job here, getting to the back bumper of Brian Smith. We get a good shot from on board of that 7 as he's looking right at the back bumper of that number 25. We'll see if he can take that spot over. We hop back to 12th with Andrew Lewis, trying to get a spot from Cam Ingram here. We'll see if he can do it. Oh, we got one sideways. That's Dylan Rosenberg. Gets it gathered back up. Several spots going to be lost for that number 40 machine, unfortunately. Just got a little loose. Kept it off the wall from what I can see, but them tires are going to be hurting. So is his pride. We jump back to this battle for the 11th spot between Lewis and Ingram. Pretty good fight between those two going on right now. And we're going to keep our eye on this lead. We'll see if anything changes with it. But we are going to take a quick break, step aside for just a moment. But you're not going to miss any of the action, folks, because we're going to go HMS TV side by side. Don't go anywhere.
Todd Gilliland here. You're tuned into the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord channel so you never miss a moment of the action. Did America's crew chief already tell you that?
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is the world's #1 streaming service. From over-the-top calls to electrifying action, we bring it all to the table.
The whole field's shocking it. It's a drag race to the checkered flag in the air. Justin Thompson wins the Harpoon Design 500.
But the action doesn't just stop when the stream ends. Whether you're looking for a broadcaster or looking to secure your spot in our next special event, the best way to get a hold of us, and the only way to enter our exclusive events, is to join the HMS TV Discord server.
Don't get left on the trailer. What are you waiting for? Join the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Discord community today by scanning the QR code shown on your screen. We'll see you there.
Jumping back with you, folks. Peyton Howell, after an absolutely beautiful slide job, has taken over the lead from Brian Smith. And don't look now, folks, but somehow that one car of Jaden Hopp on the older tires, he's sticking right with these guys in third. So he's not out of this fight at all. I will say, though, if this thing stays green, his strategy might be hurting him a little bit. Let's go through your field a little bit. Diego Sainz, Steve Tucker duking it out for the 5th spot. Sainz looks like he's going to take that spot over. These two are on the same pit strategy, so this 97 might just have a little bit more long run speed over the 0. Darrell Young Jr. here in the 71 Peoria, Illinois native. Friend of the channel. You hear him calling races a lot with Blake. Has worked his way to about mid-pack. He's running 15th right now, trying to chase down Matthew Byers in front of him. Cinch McCoy in the chat saying if Hop is IHOP, then Peyton Howell is Waffle Howell. I get where you're going with that. I don't know if it quite works great, but I do get it. Speaking of Jaden Hopp, he's in a little bit of a sandwich here. He's got Brian Smith in that 25 in front of him, and then he's got Dylan Alt right behind him trying to take that spot over. Alt up 24 spots on the night. Look at him rip this high lane. I mean, he's literally ripping it. I think he got up into the fence a little bit there, slowed him down. Gonna have to try to set himself up for another run at it. But as we check out these two cars here, two beautiful looking racing machines, both of them trying to chase down Peyton Howell, taking over this lead now, as we're on board with the one of Jaden Hopp. You can hear that car getting loose there. Or might have just been getting tight on him, but he got pushed up the track with the dirty air, and next thing you know, Dylan Alt finds his way right on by. So those tires starting to hurt the one a little bit, I think. We'll see how it goes. Hopping back to 9th. Battle for 9th, Bryce Senizak, Nick Hapiak right now. Happy-ack having a nice quiet night. And that 06 caution is out, folks. What has happened? Forrest Smith involved. Yes, he is. He's backwards. Let's see what has happened to the 18. He's got some damage to the right side of that car. Let's take a look from the chopper cam. Just running the high line, got in the wall a little bit. Oh, the 26 of Justin Rosema just snuck by. I actually think I want to try to get on board with that 18, or I'm sorry, the 26 for that. Let's see if we can do that. Just like that, drives right on by. Condor caution once again. Here on lap 89 of 133, we've got some pit stops happening. And we'll be back with you on the other side, folks. We're going to take a quick break. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. Before we go, if you're looking for something to do on Saturday, August 15th, we've got the thing for you. The High Proof Showdown, brought to you by BAC Casting and Drafting. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Talladega in the next gen. 75 laps on tap. $5 to get you in for a chance to win up to $80. Scan the QR code, bottom left of your screen, to register.
Are you sick and tired of the endless scrolling on boring websites who just simply don't understand who you are? We've all been there. Well, look no more, because the world's #1 streaming service is now online. HutchinsonMotorsportsTV.com. We'll see you there.
Back with you here from Homestead, folks, as my computer catches back up to what the hell's happening on the track. A new front row here tonight. Brian Smith, Peyton Howell lead the field to green for restart number 7. Green flag waving here in the Tier 1 setup shop. 200. Brian Smith to the lead out of Northville, Michigan. Your whole first 18, 20, pretty much everybody on the track with 4 fresh Goodyear tires. So not a huge advantage for anybody. It's going to come down to who can race this thing. Right now we've got a great battle starting to brew up in the front of your field. Brian Smith, Peyton Howell, Dylan Alt, all duking it out. 3 very, very capable iRacing drivers. So it's going to be a good one here to the end with about 40 more laps on tap. Let me know in the comments who's going to take this thing. Bubba Myers Custom Designs in the chat. He's going to be cheering on that number 8, running in 4th place right now. Jared Skinner got the fish car out here tonight. and he's having a great run. Trying to get Juicy Spider Racing some money. If him and Nick Hapiak or Andrew Lewis, those three guys, if they can finish really good here, they can try to get some money from the HMS TV racing team. But I tell you what, Brian Smith leading the way right now. If he wins, he's not only going to win the team some money, he's going to win himself some more money, or at least going to win Blake Hutchinson himself some more money. Because if he gets a win, he's going to steal that second place in the charter standings away from the one of Jaden Hopp and Tier 1 Racing. Cinch McCoy in the chat saying it's Jaden IHOP versus Peyton Waffle Howell. Hop seems to be struggling a little bit on this restart. A bit of a slow start for him. Finds himself back in 5th. Looking at the back end of the 8 of Jared Skinner.
You know, Jesse, you should really start locking the door when you're up here in the race control booth.
Yeah, what in the world? How you doing?
I'm doing good, everybody. How y'all doing? Look up here in the race control tower. Kind of taking a little bit of a backseat to everything HMS TV here lately, but I'm still around.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you. What do you think about how this race has been tonight? We've had our own handful of cautions, but we're going to see if we can maybe get some green flag pit stops here towards the end of the race.
Yeah, we're doing up here in the race control tower. We're trying our best not to throw single car spins. That last one, he was just stopped backwards on the track, and there was too many cars coming. We had to throw it, but we're going to do our best not to press the button. Of course, we're going to keep it fair. If multiple cars are spinning out of control, it's going to have to fly, but we're going to see if we get these green flag cycles here with 36 laps remaining on the track.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Connor Gerard in the chat, he's saying hi to you, Christian. So,
hey, Connor.
Better say hi to Connor.
Yeah, definitely. Always look forward to seeing Connor in the stream chat. As we move forward, I'll be taking more of a back seat, doing the behind-the-scenes thing, moving into Season 2. You probably won't see or hear from me much, but I'll be secretly in the background. Right, Jesse?
Yeah, pretty much. I won't tell them about how I basically had to, like, beg you to come race control tonight since I had to call the race in the booth. But we were thankfully able to get a hold of you and get you in here to call the last race of the season. And I got to say, you've been doing a fine job tonight, sir.
You see, I remember just saying, hey, I'm going to be here. Me and Blake was going to be out. I don't remember there being any begging, but I guess we don't have to tell them that, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, well, thank you for hopping up here. Feel free to stick around if you want towards the end of this thing. But
I'm going to slide back into hide, and I just wanted to say one final thank you to all the HMS TV fans for making Season 1 what it was. We're going to move on into Season 2. Like I said, you probably won't hear from me as much as I'll be in the background, but thank you all for watching. As always, Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. I'll see y'all later.
Thank you, Christian, for swinging in with some kind words here to finish out the season. 33 laps left in Season 1. It's kind of crazy to think that just a few months ago, this thing was just starting out. And it was a whole brand new concept, and all the people that were confused to how it worked and everything, and now we've gotten to the end here. 56 total charters signed up on the season. Almost, if not 100 drivers have been registered to drive here this season. So it's been an absolute blast. As Christian said, thanks to each and every person that has decided to come out and support. Speaking of support, we check out the 11 of Chris Otto here. Tier 1 setup shop on the car. Side drafting the absolute mess out of the 98 Andy Lewis. But this is the Tier 1 setup shop 200. I know Brett Bullard was in the chat earlier. But it looks like, let's see if we can get a good shot here at the back of this car. Let's see what we got here. That's outside the fence. I don't know how the drone is sticking to the shot like that, but you can see it right on the back of this 11. Chris Otto, tier1setupshop.com. Check them out. I've heard rumors that they offer a 7-day free trial. If you want to check out some setups for iRacing, maybe get you some extra speed. Thanks to them for showing their support. John Evans says, politely asking for a Ben Pierce interview if the O2 wins the chip. He's absolutely getting talked to. He's probably the only one that there's a real requirement to talk to us here tonight. And he has given me the salute reaction, so I believe that means he'll be here, as he will be a big part of the HMS TV awards show that will be taking place right after this race is finished. There will be about probably a 10-15 minute intermission after this race is over as I get everything set up for that, because there are a few awards that are still up for grabs and could change hands, so we're going to have to make sure we calculate the points and make sure everything stands corrected with that. Charter points are locked up. Driver points basically are locked up with Jaden Hopp getting that stage win, I imagine. And then, to be honest, the only other one that we're watching, there are a couple cars that have the chance of getting a clean season award, so we'll explain how that works when we get to it. And then the team championship, Powerhouse Racing wins in points, but they didn't pay into the team pot. So there's a prize up for grabs between Hutchinson Motorsports TV Racing Team and Juicy Spider Racing. John Evans is excited that there's an awards show. He says there's an awards show, OMG. Do I need to get my suit? Well, I mean, I'm going to be hosting an awards show, and I'm shirtless right now, so I don't think you need to worry about your shirt or your suit.
Ew.
Thanks, Christian. Thank you very much. Nonetheless, 28 laps to go here in the Season 1 finale. Check out Matthew Byers here running 14th. He has got cars flying all around him. He's in a hornet's nest right now. He's got Chris Otto past him on the outside. Darrell Young Jr. past him on the inside. Here comes the 98 of Andy Lewis. Matthew Byers getting up into the fence here into turn 1, trying to keep that HMS TV Racing Team machine in the hunt tonight. Right now, he's in a good spot. Brian Smith, that 25's leading the way. He can get the win. That's going to get some money in the pockets of at least Blake Hutchison. We'll see if he decides to share. Blake, of course, out of town. He just popped in the chat and said B. Smith is the GOAT. So that's good to hear. I gotta say, he's definitely doing some GOAT things. He's out to a 0.6 of a second of mine that I thought it would be pretty cool to do. And so I threw something together. Nothing crazy, but it's going to be a good time. So hopefully most, if not everybody, sticks around. We'll have plenty of talks with drivers and owners and everything of the sort. Cool other things to announce as well, so stay tuned for that. Bubba Myers in the chat says, Skinner should have replaced me sooner and JS would have been in that team win in the bag. You know what? You might be onto something. I'm just saying, Bubba, you might be onto something. No, I love you, bud. You did have definitely a rough season, but it was good to have you out there. I appreciate you giving me a couple paint schemes to run, too, whenever I was racing these next-gen cars, which I think I've officially retired personally from the next gen. Apparently I'm just cheeks at them, so I'm going to stop driving them. I'm looking for a truck series to run. I think I might try to make some appearances in the Stars and Stripes League on Tuesdays, so keep an eye out for that.
Just a note
Blake says, oh, go ahead, sir.
Jesse, the pit cycles have started there. The 1's already been down, the 7's down, the 97's on pit road 2.
All right, we got pit stops happening. As you mentioned, Jaden Hopp has already hit pit lane for his final stop. He's hoping this thing stays green to the end because he's on fresh tires. And he's going to be running quicker laps than everybody. So thank you for bringing that up. Keep an eye bottom left of our scoring tower there. That's going to tell you when somebody hits pit lane. So keep your eye out for your favorite driver. As he mentioned, though, several people have come down for their final stops. You got Terry Vincent, Justin Rosema, Diego Sainz, Chris Otto, Cam Ingram, Jared Skinner, among others. Bryce Senesac just came down. He's got Forrest Smith in front of him. Unfortunately for Smith, he's a lap or two down. But what I was going to say is we check Jaden Hopp unlapping himself here after his pit stop. Blake Hutchinson in the chat said if Chad didn't suck, we would have ran away. Blake, look at Chad's paint scheme tonight. It's definitely his fault. It's not the fact that my Trading Paints just decided to load everyone's but his. Look at this thing. It is horrendous. What is this paint scheme? It's definitely Chad's fault. It's not Trading Paints' fault at all. What is that scheme? Connor says Chad can be happy knowing he at least had one paint scheme of the night win under his belt. I mean, to be fair, he basically had to beg for it. I don't know if it... I think it has an asterisk next to it. Let's be real. Got some more pit stops happening. Matthew Byers are going to hit pit lane here.
27 pitting in.
28 pitting.
It's Matthew Byers and Chad White, both with Hutchinson Motorsports Racing Team. Nick Hapiak with Juicy Spider Racing pitting in right in front of him. So, interesting to see these guys fighting for some money, all pitting with each other right here. Brian Smith continues to stay out and continues to lead the way. Running second place right now, about 4.5 seconds back from the 25 is going to be Steve Tucker. Blake, if he's still watching, he's going to be biting his nails watching the 25 of Brian Smith stay out here this long. He's running long, only 19 laps left to go here in this thing. The question is going to be, how's the strategy going to work out for him here? Cinch McCoy says this pit decides the winner. I think you're definitely on the right track, and we take a look at all those people that are good on fuel leading the way. Peyton Howell, actually your first driver that's going to be good on fuel. He's running in the 11th spot. Second on the good strategy is going to be Dylan Alt in the 6th, and then Jaden Hopp running 3rd out of your drivers that have come down pit road for their final stop. Peyton Howell seems to be confused here. Let's take a listen.
What in the hell did you get behind me?
What do you mean?
Exchange between Peyton Howell and Dylan Alt here. Brian Smith does hit pit lane. Steve Tucker stays out. He's going to take over the lead for the first time tonight. Stain Pink says, may we get timing on the pylon soon, please. Yeah, that cycles automatically, so sometimes it transitions to other stuff. $33-0, duking it out. 33's already hit pit lane, so he's just trying to get back on the lead lap here. Steve Tucker still has yet to hit pit lane. Josh Adams behind him here has also stayed out. With Dylan Rosenberg, Darrell Young Jr., and Lilith Peters, your current top 5. None of those guys have hit pit lane yet. Everybody from 6th and up still has to pit. Dylan Alt now leading the cars that have come down for their final pit stops. Oh, I think I know what's going on here with the timing. Let me fix that. I think that I have it set to a super speedway timer. Let me see
Amateur
if I can
hour.
fix that here. Yeah, I know. I think this is what we will be looking for here. I was sitting there and I'm thinking, it's showing the manufacturers a whole lot, which matter more in the super speedway stuff compared to regular track racing here. So I think we should be in a good spot for the rest of the race here. As you can see the intervals on your screen. Focus on that car in 7th, Dylan Alt. He has come down for his final pit stop. Everybody else in front of him still has to come down for one more stop for fuel. Steve Tucker leads the way out of that group. Connor letting us know SmackDown is done. Thank you, Connor. Christian, I don't know if you can hear me, but I know you've been getting back into watching the wrestling a little bit more as of recent. I know you took a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm still technically 2 weeks behind live TV, but interested in SummerSlam. They have a few good matches, the Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk, kind of weird, but the Rollins versus Roman match seems to be going to be one of the matches of the latest time periods that I'm looking forward to. Words are hard too.
Words are always hard for us, but I've been doing a pretty good job tonight, I think. But yeah, I definitely we had a good run there for a month or two where we were watching all sorts of events, and it's kind of died off. I don't know if we'll ever get back into it the way we were watching it, but it's always a fun time checking it out as Stephen Blevins hits pit lane.
I'm interested in this strategy. Being I'm here, I might as well just keep talking. Steve staying out. Like, he's got 12 laps to go. Is he trying to do the stretch of the century to win this thing?
I don't know. I really don't know if he can. I feel like if it was possible, I feel like somebody else would have tried it already. So I think he's just hoping that we see a late caution here. What I'm really interested to see, Brian Smith, he's running fourth out of the people that have come down pit lane already, and he's stayed out pretty long compared to the three guys in front of him. It's going to be a question to me, does he have enough tire to really make up the 3.5 seconds up to Dylan Alt with only 11 laps to go? I don't think there's a big enough tire difference.
No, and here comes Steve now too, so that hope is now heading down pit road with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, he's going to hit the pits. It's going to leave Josh Adams in the 22 to take the lead over. We don't really have too many close battles on the track for position that would potentially lead to a yellow. I mean, I guess somebody could simply make a mistake, but right now, Dylan Alt's in the best spot. He's got a 1.1 second lead over Peyton Howell right now.
Yeah, with it, everybody's spread out. There's dots all over the track. Here comes Darrell Young Jr. down pit road to put himself towards the back right now. So, going to be an interesting 10 laps.
Driver radio from that.
Pitting.
Leaves one lone soldier, Christian, out there on the track, Dylan Rosenberg. I bet he'll be coming in this lap or next lap. I feel like these guys saved as much as they could with 9 laps to go. I don't think there's any way Dylan's going to make it to the end. I expect him to come in right here.
Looks like he's slowing down. Yep, there he comes.
That's going to let the 6 of Dylan Alt come back around to take the lead over, but his rearview mirror is not empty, because if we hop on board with him here, he's got 2 cars trying to chase him down. Peyton Howell and Jaden Hopp in the rearview mirror. Peyton Howell, his tires are a little bit older. Both these guys' tires are a little bit older than Dylan Alt's tires, so it's going to be an uphill battle for them. And unfortunately for the HMS TV racing team, Brian Smith, he's in the picture, but he is pretty far back there in 4th. So it'll be interesting to see what he can find with 8 laps left to go. Stain Pink says, I know Point Man is busy. How are we looking if we guesstimate? Well, the 1 did win the stage, and he's in front of the 25 right now. So if this race was to finish right now, the number 1 of Jaden Hopp would lock that 2nd spot up in the charter points. I can tell you that for sure. And I'm pretty much guaranteeing that he is going to be your driver champion. That was basically locked in coming into this race. So Hopp's going to have some stuff to celebrate for. In fact, he just made his way into 2nd. So he's in an even better spot now. With 6 laps to go, let's take a look throughout some other parts of your field potentially here. There's a decent battle happening for 2nd, but these guys, Jaden Hopp's going to run away from the 7 of Peyton Howell. I think Hopp's just quicker right now, and he's on 1 lap fresher tires. So we take a look at Josh Adams and Chad White. This is for right outside of your top 10, 11th place battle. Josh Adams made it look easy. He's on way fresher tires than Chad, so that's why that pass was so quick. Cam Ingram, Steve Tucker, battle for 13th, door to door right here, going into turn 3 and 4. Steve's on 13 lap fresher tires. So tire strategies are all over the place right now. So no crazy battles happening right now, but I'm sure if one is to pop up with 5 to go, we'll get your attention to it. Cinch McCoy wants to know who's battling for the 14th place trophy. Well, right now Cam England's got it on lock. He's got space on either side of him there. He's got some guys on fresher tires coming up behind him, though, so we'll have to keep our eye on that as Steve Tucker going to get past Chad White into that 12th spot. Jared Skinner getting by the lap traffic there of the 42, Chris Bishop. Diego Sainz trying to stick with that 8, trying to make his way into the top 5. You see him there, Richmond, Texas, number 97. Got some anime on the car. Aaron Poplin will be stoked about that. 3 laps to go in the Tier 1 setup shop. 200. Dylan Alt leads the way. Jaden Hopp, Peyton Howell, Brian Smith, Jared Skinner round out your top 5. Diego Sainz, Bryce Senizak, Chris Otto, Nick Hapiak, and now Josh Adams making his way into 10th as they get by Matthew Byers. I must say, with the 25 not leading this race anymore, that does make the team pot battle a little bit more interesting. Right now, Brian Smith and Jared Skinner running 4th and 5th, so 1 point separating those two. And then Matthew Byers and Nick Hapiak running 10th and 11th, so I think as they sit, that's 2 points gained for the HMS TV racing team, which should... Unfortunately for that 6 car, they had high hopes coming into the chase. They had some adversity. They ended up slipping down the board a little bit, but going through turns 3 and 4, the 6 of Dylan Alt trying to put an exclamation point on the end of their season. Take one final win for Hustle Fuel Performance. Out of turn 4, down the front stretch he goes. Dylan Alt wins the Tier 1 setup shop 200 here at Homestead, Miami. Jaden Hopp finishes 2nd, locks up that driver championship. And we go way back to 23rd place. We find Ben Pierce driving his own car in the 02, going through turns 3 and 4. And he is going to be piloting the car that takes home the Charter Points Championship here in Season 1 HMS TV Cup Series. We're going to have several burnouts to keep our eyes on, I believe, as the 6 of Dylan Alt starts the party. Let's see if Ben Pierce is going to burn it down, celebrate his driver or his charter owner championship. Let's see. Hell yeah, the 18 of Forrest Smith burns it down a little bit there, and yeah, it goes. Brendan Pierce celebrating that championship, baby. Let's go. Congratulations to the Powerhouse Racing 02. Got hot at the right time. 3 wins straight the last 3 races. And Ben Pierce gets the privilege of racing his own car to the title here at Homestead. What a season it has been. We're going to take ourselves a quick break and we'll be back with podium interviews, and then after that, we'll get the setup started for the HMS TV Awards show. So stay tuned, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
Ladies and gentlemen, back here at Homestead, Miami for your podium interviews in Hustle Fuel Victory Lane. The Tier 1 Setup Shop 200 is complete, and we'll be talking to Dylan Alt and Jaden Hopp. But before we get to them, let's go ahead and talk to the 7. Pilot of the 7, Peyton Howell, fought through adversity at the start of this race. We'll see his thoughts on the event tonight. Hey, Peyton, it is Jesse up in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Man, tell us about your race. You hop in the car for the final race of the season. You get to serve an EOL that somebody else earned, and then get involved in an incident early, get sent back to the back of the field again, and you battle through all that to finish third. Just tell us about your night tonight.
Yeah, I had no idea I had an EOL, and so that was like, okay, I'm glad I wasn't told, But yeah, I kind of just ran into the back of Steve. I really didn't mean to. I don't know what I was doing. I guess I was listening to the people in my Discord talk and was just not even paying attention at all, and just ran right into the back of him. And I tried to let him save it, and I mean, I was on the brake the whole time, and he kind of just shot back right, and I hit him in the right rear, and it hooked him. And yeah, I definitely didn't mean to do that. I was just, I guess, not paying attention. But after that, my strategy was to just not take tires until lap 50, just to have an extra set just in case. Those cautions kind of helped us with those guys. It was like 4 or 5 car wrecks every time, so we'd jump a couple spots and then have a restart, and just kind of tried to stay towards the top 5 the whole race and keep Jaden and them in sights. And that final or the run before the final run, battling Brian there, that was a lot of fun, and running the slaughter line and all that. I hit the wall a couple times, but most of the time I was like right next to it and wouldn't hit it, but it might have looked like I was. But yeah, that final pit stop, I was like, I just gotta like get ahead of these guys and hope that they maybe don't pay attention to me pitting. And I saw Jaden pit, and I was like, okay, I might be able to keep like holding back. But I look up in my mirror about 5 laps later, and Dylan's 6/10 back, and I'm like, yeah, there's no shot I win this race. And so yeah, I'm just glad I kind of held on to third. I don't know what happened to Brian there at the end, but I saw him running me down. I was just like, gotta stay and hope that maybe even if a caution comes out, I can restart third and maybe have a shot at it. But yeah, it was a fun race overall.
Yeah, it's so hard to know what the right strategy is going to be at the end, whether to short pit or not, when you have a racetrack that's so hot and people making mistakes throughout the field early on in the race. It's a hard call to make, but it seemed like you had the right strategy. I mean, clearly, to get your way from the back of the field twice to finish third, definitely some good strategy calls there, I think.
Yeah, I was just kind of playing it by ear. I knew with the really hot track that it's like people could self spin it kind of any time. So I was playing a risky strategy, especially not the 7 being in the chase or anything. I was just like, I'm just gonna pit early, and if caution comes out and it ruins it, it ruins it. I have driven from the back already twice, so I don't think it'll really matter. But um, yeah, I mean, it was just, I'm glad that the guys kept it green there at the end. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely a good race from you. Good to have you out for the final race of the season. Do you have any plans for season 2 yet, or is that still all in the works?
I might run part-time. I don't know if I can make it full-time. Kind of just depends on what life looks like in a couple weeks. But if I can run full-time, I will try, but it most likely will be part-time.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, at least here for the final race. Congratulations on bringing home the podium in the Tier 1 Setup Shop 200. If you got any other shout-outs you want to give, now's the time. You have the floor.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you all for putting on the broadcast. Everybody else that was in this race that kept it green there at the end, appreciate all that. And I'd like to thank Icon Apparel Company. Check them out at Icon Apparel Company 906.com, I think. SNCS Saturday Night Cup Series. If you scan the QR code on my car, you can join the Discord, and we race every Saturday night. Gen 6 Cup car with 10% horsepower. increase. And next race is tomorrow night at Old Atlanta. I got to thank Brady for doing the last second paint, and Hunter and all those guys at Downforce Racing for letting me race tonight.
Absolutely. Well, congrats one more time on the 3rd place, Peyton Howell. Good job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
With no further ado, let's go ahead and chat with big-time fan favorite out here tonight, finishing 2nd. Let's see what he has to say about his night. Jaden Hopp, let's bring him in. Hey, Jaden, it's Jesse up in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, we've been talking to you a ton here in recent races. You bring home the 2nd place, big-time fan favorite. And as I mentioned to you on the radio before we went live, that car is absolutely gorgeous. So I was cheering you on all night. You bring home the 2nd place, maybe just not the right strategy at the end, but just tell us about your night, man.
It's definitely a fun one. Kept it up front for the whole time, I think, but kind of fumbled the strategy just a little bit. And on top of that, Dylan was super fast anyway. So good to bring it home 2nd tonight. Good points night to finish the season off. So good. I think we should be 2nd there. So glad to see that.
Yeah, you've got 2nd locked up for sure in the charter points. It was getting a little interesting. The 25 was leading a bunch of laps there with Brian Smith piloting it, and then if he would have won the race, you could have finished 2nd, and you would have still lost the spot to him. So I don't know, was that going through your head at all, thinking about the 20 extra points for the win?
I didn't know it was that many for the win. I thought like maybe I'd have enough buffer if he won the race and I finished 2nd, but it was a bunch of fun racing with him and the other Peyton and Dylan up there as well. The 25 sure was making it interesting. I was a bit worried there.
Yeah, you came in tonight with 11 points up on him, so the only way he was really going to get you is if you finished 12 spots worse than him or he won, and it was looking like he had a chance to win, but yeah, I mean, you also locked up the driver championship, so we're going to be doing our awards show in a bit. Yeah, feel free to stick around if you want, but I'll go ahead and preemptively congratulate you on that as well, so good job on that, getting the driver title.
Thank you very much. I'll be sure to stick around for that.
All right, and if you have any other shout-outs you want to give now before we move on to Dylan, now you have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting on the league and the broadcast all season. It's been a blast, and Brett for putting on the Tier 1 car. Had me in it for most of the season, and it was fun to be here. Thanks to all my friends and family for watching me each and every week. Really can't thank you guys, everyone there enough.
All right, well, congrats on the P2 finish, Jaden Hopp. Good job, man. We'll see you. I'm sure we'll see you next season.
Thank you very much.
All right, and one more to talk to. Going to be the man who took the win tonight, Dylan Alt. Let's see what he has to say. Piloting that Hustle Fuel Performance number 6 to Hustle Fuel Victory Lane. Dylan, it's Jesse up in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Man, oh man, tell us about your night. I know you were involved in an early caution, found yourself towards the back of the field. You work your way back through. You got Tier 1 Racing on the car for the Tier 1 Setup Shop 200, Hustle Fuel Victory Lane for Hustle Fuel Performance. Just tell us about your night, man.
It's a very hectic night. Definitely a roller coaster. I know I tried to go for pole, but I wasn't really paying attention in practice on like what line is the best and how heated up the track was. So I was just talking to Dennis and not really running laps at all. So then I go into qualifying. I run the first lap. I just completely go in the corner and just almost plowed the fence down. And so I reset the lap, then realized I didn't have enough time. So I completely made a mistake. So I start from the back, try to drive through the field, ended up driving up to the field a little bit. And then I was kind of hoping it would have a good enough green flag run where we would just have a pit for fuel. I was super excited for that. And we didn't get that until the last restart. And I'm still thankful that we did get a green flag run where we had a pit. So the strategy mattered a bit. And I think, I got involved in a wreck from just trying to push past other people and making it 3 wide. I know I probably shouldn't have done that, but I was just having fun running different lanes, different grooves, and Homestead's one of my favorite tracks because of that. So yeah, it was fun racing against Payne and Jaden and Brian, also Diego too. Like, I was having a blast, and yeah, I was surprised that I managed to. I didn't want to pit that early, but once I passed Peyton and saw him just dive in to pit, I knew I had to pit in the next like 3 or 4 laps just so I can run him down, and I didn't expect him be only like half a second in front of me once I got out of pits. And once I passed him, I had clean air and just try to run away and stay in front of Jaden because I knew he was on 4. And yeah, stayed up front and won the race.
Yeah, you were speaking on hoping for the green flag stops. I remember hearing you on the radio chuckling a little bit here, you're trying to do the math.
So no green flag stops anymore. Oh wait, maybe.
I was like, he's really hoping for a green flag run there, and I think you got the ones you were looking for there at the end, so it helped you get towards the front.
Because I tried a lap on the last restart when I was just chilling behind Brian and Jaden, or I think it was Brian and Peyton, that they were just running away or just pushing really hard. I don't know if they were shifting or what, but I just knew I would kill my stuff if I try to pass them. So I'm like, okay, let me try to save fuel and see if I can make it. And me just clutching both on entry 1 and 3, I only had to save an extra lap of fuel. So it might have been possible. I just didn't want to risk it when everyone else pit. So I was like, okay, let me just pit and be on the same strategy as them. Even though I did pit, and it was kind of a bad decision because I didn't have any sets of tires left. Because when I was involved in that wreck, I already destroyed my tires, so I took tires again. So yeah, I don't know what could have been the best strategy of just saving fuel or what. I know there was 4 other people that tried to stretch it out for as long as possible, and they ended up pitting. So maybe that strategy couldn't work, but who knows?
Well, nonetheless, you bring it home with the win to cap off season 1. So congratulations to you on that. If you have any final shout outs you'd like to give before we wrap this thing up and head towards the awards show, you have the floor, my friend.
Just gotta thank you guys for broadcasting this, and this whole league is a ton of fun to be in, and also Hustle Field, Dennis, allowing to just inviting me to this league and welcoming me. So yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing you out there for season 2.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Congrats on the win. Good job, Dylan.
Thank you.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for this portion of the stream, but don't go anywhere. We're going to do some math, crunch some numbers, scratch some heads, and we're going to be back with you after all that for the HMS TV Cup Series Season 1 Awards Show. So make sure you tell your friends, tell your family to tune in. The first award we're giving out tonight, Paint Scheme of the Night from Connor Gerard, goes to the 84 Tier 1 racing machine. Lilith Peters piloting that car, so congratulations to them. But folks, feel free to stick around, and we'll be back with you here in maybe somewhere around 15-20 minutes for the HMS TV Cup Series Awards Show.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
Hey guys, it's NASCAR driver Matt DiBenedetto, and you are watching Hutchinson Motorsports TV, America's #1 iRacing broadcast service. So be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube today. It'll be the best decision you've ever made, so you can watch us sim racers go at it on the track.
We are here for the HMS TV Cup Series Season 1 awards show. I hope most, if not all of you, have stuck around because it's going to be a good time. Let me know if this music is a little too loud or not. I've got it way turned down, so hopefully it's just some nice background stuff, but let me know. But thank you for tuning into the first ever HMS TV awards show. And we are going to get this thing started off with your Season 1 champion. Drum roll, please. We already know who it is. The O2 from Powerhouse Racing, bringing home the title. Ben Pierce, the owner of that car. Here you go. It's had several drivers. Jonathan Evans, Jacob Brower, Justin Bondurant, Nate Stewart, Barrett Polomus, Luke Strayer, Matt Tilder, and Ben Pierce himself, all doing their part to help win this car the title. And he stuck around, thankfully, for us to chat with him. Let's see what he has to think. Ben Pierce, the owner of this car. Let's bring him up. Hey, Ben, it's Jesse. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Dude, congratulations for bringing home the title in Season 1 here. The Charter Standings Points champion. How does it feel to have your car bringing home the title at the end of this season?
Feels pretty good, honestly. I mean, I can't take close to all the credit. It was a lot of guys pitching in on it. Team effort all around. I think you can almost say the definition of a team effort with how many guys we had jumping in and out of the car, and as has been said, stepping up at the right time, getting hot when it mattered most.
Oh, absolutely.
Overall, yeah,
Three wins
feels pretty
in
good.
the chase. Who saw that coming? Just popped up out of nowhere with 3 in a row to seal it. That gotta be pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah, it was really funny. After the first one, when Nate won at the Glen, I could pull it up right now where Evans said, okay, so Brower goes and wins at Richmond, and then whoever's in the car wins at Atlanta, and then we get Ben in the car to win it at Homestead. Now, I didn't win the race. That wasn't going to happen. But I got to take home the championship and driving the car, so kudos to him for speaking that into existence.
Yeah, that has to be a pretty cool deal, and go ahead and hop on my screen share for me if you can, so you can see it. I don't know if you're watching the stream or not, but something cool to show you happening here in a second. But, you know, not only do you get the top prize for the Charter Point Standings, which is $150, you also are going to receive a trophy designed by Grid Gold on your screen. Not the actual trophy, but it's going to be something similar to this, going to be mailed right to you, man. So you're going to have some actual hardware on the shelf for this. That's got to feel pretty good.
Awesome. Yeah, I've got some trophies from sports back in high school, and I don't have anything for playing a video game, so that's gonna
well,
be
now
pretty
you
cool.
can say you'll have one. So congratulations for that one, and thank you again for joining me and sticking around. Of course, your team did also win in the team points, so that'll be mentioned as well. So congratulations for that as well, and I'm sure next season you'll be buying into the pot, unlike this season.
Yeah, I didn't budget appropriately for that one, but I've told all the guys, and they know I'm getting them something anyways, because they kicked butt and took names, and they deserve it. So they'll still be getting something.
Well, cool deal. Thank you again for joining me. I'm gonna send you back down here and thank you for joining us, and see you for next season. Hopefully you guys can go back to back. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And just real quick, thanks to y'all for putting this on and setting it up where the team owner can kind of have some control on who gets in the car. As you can see, I used that to its fullest extent with 8 different people driving the car.
8 drivers through 12 races. That's quite a
8
bit.
8 drivers through 12. Yeah, maybe gave y'all a bit of a headache with swapping everything out, but I appreciate y'all for giving us the platform to do this. I haven't been a league that's done it before, but it was a great experience, and yeah, we're definitely back next season. Looking forward to trying to do this again.
All right, thank you for joining me, and congratulations one more time, Ben Pierce.
Thanks, gang.
All right, we'll send him on back down. We'll go ahead and go through the rest of your top 10 at the end of this thing, which actually, funnily enough, just realized I forgot to check all the playoff points. So give me just a moment. I'll leave you with the music, and I'll get those calculated up. Back with you here. I had a feeling I was forgetting something. Probably important to do the points for everybody in the playoffs, but this is how it all shook out with your top 10 in the chase. Brian Samara taking the 10th place spot at the end of it. Daryl Young driving Brantley Roden 71 with the help of Mark Whitley a couple times this season, gets 9th place. 8th place goes to Andy Lewis in the 98 for Juicy Spider. 7th place goes to the 06 also for Juicy Spider, going to be Nick Happyack. It's going to put 6th. It's going to be the 97 Brewer Motorsports machine piloted tonight by Diego Sainz. So let me just make sure I've got these right so far. Yes, 5th place goes to the 33 Powerhouse Racing machine. So 2 cars in the top 5's got to feel pretty good. 4th place, hopping up a couple spots tonight. The 6 car, Hustle Fuel Performance with the win, hops up to 4th in your chase final standings. 3rd, going to be the 25 owned by Blake Hutchinson. 2nd place, the 1 of Tier 1 Racing. And then, of course, the 02 Powerhouse Racing, your champions. But let's hop into the next part of the show. The driver points champion, you know it. It's going to be Jaden Hopp in that one. Let's go ahead and bring up both the owner and driver here of that car, see what they have to say tonight. Brett and Jaden, it's Jesse here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, hello again.
Man, so it's cool to see Brett in the voice chat. Hope you don't mind me bringing you up, man, but you're part of this too, putting him in the car week after week. But Jaden, as we talked about during the podium celebration, you bring home the Driver Points Championship. How does it feel, man?
It feels pretty good to finish the season off. I think we got a podium in every single chase race, so it feels pretty good.
Yeah, you did a great job, Brett. How does it feel as the owner to see your driver with so much success here at the end of this season?
Super excited and super proud of him. I know he did a lot more racing this season in that one car than what we originally planned, but it was really cool to see him be so successful in it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the championship out of it, but we'll take a second any day.
And just another part of the race tonight, of course, you guys, Tier 1 Setup Shop, sponsored the race tonight. If you want to give a shout out to that real quick, tell the people they head to tier1setupshop.com, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Discord is where we do a lot of our stuff. You can find us there. We do have a Tier 1 Wraps where you can get paint schemes made and everything. We also have a Tier 1 studio and do a little bit of broadcasting, and actually just started a podcast called Tier 1 Trackside where we'll be interviewing people in the iRacing community and stuff like that. So check us out and try our 7-day free trial.
Cool stuff, Jaden. If you have any other last things to say, you can have the floor.
Oh boy, I think I've already said a lot of it during the interview, so, I mean, thank you to everyone again. Thank you to Brett. And, yeah.
All right, well, congrats on the driver champion. And hopefully we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys in Season 2. Thank you for joining me. And congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
All right, congrats to those guys for the job they did. I'll go ahead and get them back to their correct channel. Yeah, they'll be fine where they're at. They can find their own way home if they want. So let's move on. We still got some more to come. Hopefully everybody's still awake, still paying attention. Almost 11 o'clock here tonight, but we'll try to get through it. Team Points Champion, as we mentioned. Not going to bring him back up for it, but Powerhouse Racing gets the W. Unfortunately for them, they did not pay into the team pot, which Ben Pierce deeply regrets. So that is what we're here to announce now is the team payout winners. It's going to be the HMS TV racing team. Got the 25, 26, and unpictured is the 27, and the 28 cars working together to bring home the title. I would bring in Blake Hutchinson, but he is, of course, out of town enjoying a little bit of a break, so we're going to have to settle for second and talk to the team captain, Chad White, see what he has to say. Chad, it's Jesse. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Jesse.
Well, sir, you guys at HMS TV Racing Team have won the team payout winners after tonight's race. How does it feel as the team captain to know that you guys stuck it out all season, managed to bring it home at the end?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, we put together a good team, and by we, I mean Blake, with bringing in some really good guys, because I mean, to be completely honest with you, I didn't really do a whole lot to help. It big thanks to Maverick and Matthew and Brian Smith and Johnny Dressler for coming in and really pulling us up there.
Yeah, and I had to put the picture on the screen of the one time I drove the 26 for a couple races there, so I participated. I don't know if I actually earned any points for the team, but I feel at least like I was involved a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I don't think we would have been able to do it without you, Jesse.
I think you're right, honestly. But Blake did say in the chat at one point that if you weren't so slow, there wouldn't even have been a question and y'all would have run away with it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, it was a part of being slow this season and just something every race, man. It was even whenever I felt like I had speed, it was just getting into other people's messes or getting cleared across my nose, just something every week.
Yeah, it was a fun time for sure. How does it feel to know that you're making Blake Hutchinson another $200 richer?
Feels good. Hopefully, I mean, he's going. I guess he gets to just keep the money since doesn't want to have a team next year. But that's all right. I understand. But yeah, we'll try to get keep the band back together for the most part next season and try to do it again.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for sticking around to talk to us here. I know it's getting late, almost 11 p.m. here. I got to get to bed soon because I got to work tomorrow. But if you got any other shout-outs, man, now's the time to give them.
Yeah, like you said, just shout out to Blake for putting this team together. It was a super, super good team. I think with just a little bit more luck, we really could have actually took it to Powerhouse for the actual points championship. But there's just a few things that they were able to close out races a lot better than we were a lot of the time. But other than that, yeah, it was just a really, really solid team this season.
Well, with no further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and congratulate you one more time. I know we'll be seeing you plenty more on the channel, and you'll be back for Season 2. Team name's still undecided, is that right?
Yeah, I think we got it nailed down a little bit, but might go through a few changes here or there.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to it. Congrats one more time, Chad, and congrats to all the HMS TV racing guys, everybody that drove a car, including myself.
The only one that we're not giving a shout out to is Logan Physician, because he wrecked the field tonight, so he doesn't deserve a shout out.
No, absolutely not. Well, thank you again, Chad.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse.
That was Chad White, team captain of the HMS TV racing team. We're going to move on to the next part of the show. And this is a big one, the Clean Season Award. Now, it might not sound like much, but this has a pretty significant impact on next season, and your Clean Season Award winners, yes, I said winners, plural, the 53 of Brian Samara and Rusty Rafferty with 1 start, and the 98 car with Andrew Lewis doing 10 starts, Sebastian Marin with 1, and Josh Thornton with 1. Both of these drivers getting free charter entries, or free car owner entries into next season. So they won't have to pay a dime to get their cars into the next season. But let's go ahead and talk to them, see what they think about that. Let's start with Brian, since he's highest up on my list here. Brian, it's Jesse up in the booth. Can you hear me?
I got you. What's going on?
Well, what's going on, sir, is you were one of 2 drivers, well, 2 cars, I should say, that made every single race and never once caused an accident. So that's got to feel pretty good. And newsflash, you don't even have to pay a dime to get into Season 2 with your car.
That's awesome. Yeah, I honestly don't know how that's even possible to have gotten through the whole season with the way it went. I mean, I think I had just 2 races all season where I wasn't involved in some kind of accident where I had to sit on pit road for like 7 minutes. So that's kind of insane that I wasn't at fault for any of them.
None of them.
Yeah, that's really crazy, honestly. But hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, so you managed to get through all the races, and of course Rusty Rafferty with 1 start in the car. I'm glad I went back and did my research, because you could have put a gun to my head and told me who drove the 53, and I would have never remembered that Rusty Rafferty had 1 start in it. So,
yeah, he picked up for us that week that we were out of town, and we had a couple of guys fill in. We really appreciate that. He did a good job that week.
Yeah, he did a good job. I'm pretty sure he finished really good in the car too. I think top 5. I can't really remember for sure.
Yeah, I think he got a top 5, which is at a non-super speedway, which is more than I could do all season.
Yeah, well, you got to win when it mattered, got in the chase, but nonetheless, still fantastic job not junking anybody all year. I did see Rusty Rafferty in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if he stuck around or not, but he gets a 12th of the congratulations as well. But hey, you get to save $30 on your season 2 car entry, so that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's always a great deal. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I'm going to go and talk to Andy, but if you have any last words you want to say here to sign out for season 1, go ahead and let him rip.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody that came out for the league. We had a way better turnout for a first season than I could have ever thought we would. And the quality of drivers was just insane compared to what we've been used to in leagues that we've ran in the past. So thanks to all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, you think of the big picture. I think we ended with 56 or so charter entries and almost, if not at a 100 driver pool. So to say that, you know, we had so many races go, you know, fairly caution-free, green flag stops, and for you guys to come out at the end, you and Andy and the other guys, to be able to say you made it through all that and you're the only 2 cars to have a clean season, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, nonetheless, thank you for joining me. Congratulations, and we'll be seeing you in season 2.
All right, we'll see you. Thank you.
He's down here in the Juicy Spider Racing chat. Let's bring him on up, Mr. Andy Lewis. Andy, it's Jesse. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You got me.
I got you loud and clear, and congratulations on being one of 2 drivers to win the Clean Season Award. So that's, you made it to your car made it to every race, and not once caused an accident out there on the track. So only 2 cars out of the 50 plus are able to say that. With Sebastian Marin and Josh Thornton helping you along the way, you did the bulk of the work, and you get free entry for your car into season 2. How's it feel?
Yeah, that's really exciting. I appreciate it. Thank you for awarding the clean guys. I'm honestly surprised there's not more, because we had a lot of like high level like Coke Series talent in some of those charters. So like the fact that we're the only 2, I think is pretty, you know, surprising. But then you go back and look at like Bristol, and that's probably where half the field kind of got out of the running for that one.
Yeah, you're probably onto something there. It was a long list of cautions and claims at Bristol, but you and Brian, you got to say, I told him the same thing. You got to give a shout out to the guys that filled into you because it'd be rough if they filled in for one race and managed to make a mistake and lose the award for you. So congrats to Sebastian and Josh.
Yeah, I really appreciate them helping me out. I wish I could have made those 2 races. I was planning on doing the whole season, but just work requirements for our schedule from where I'm at. Sebastian kind of filled in for me last minute for Kansas. Kansas is one of my best tracks on the sim, and I was bummed, but I think he did a better job than me. He went out there and absolutely dominated, and Josh kind of got a rough race out there at Charlotte, but, you know, kept it on the lead lap and kept us in the fight, and we still ended up making the playoffs out of a miracle in Talladega. And I think the clean racing by the 3 of us combined, you know, was a big part of that, just to get this charter into the playoffs. So that feels pretty good.
Yeah, and of course you get free entry for the car into season 2, so that's $30 you're saving there. And I just want to talk as a team. You know, Juicy Spider Racing was there at the end fighting for the team pot. Unfortunately, you came up just 19 points short for that, I believe, if I can do the math correctly. Okay. So just talk about as a team that kind of fight you guys had leading up to this.
Yeah, shout out to Nick, you know, for really showing up for every single race. I mean, he was the only driver, I think, out of all the drivers in the standings that was there for every single one of them. And he had, I mean, a great run all the way up until a couple of those playoff races where he just had bad luck. Richmond was the first one, and then Atlanta was the second one. But, I mean, Nick really, like, you know, glued that team together. He was super fast all season long. He had, you know, some competitive runs and things. If, I mean, 2 or 3 races go his way, I think he's 3rd or 4th in the championship standings and potentially the driver's champion. And then we had the 8 charter, which was Bubba Myers and Jared Skinner. Brett, same boat as me, kind of got shuffled around with some work stuff, and then that car missed a couple races. Actually, it did get counted. So if all three of us show up for the next one, I think we would probably take the drivers' championship. And we didn't have Josh Adams in the same manufacturer as us. We kind of goofed. If Josh would have been in a Chevrolet, I think we had it for sure in the bag. But it's all right. There's always next season if we come back for it. So I think the '98 charter will potentially be back now with the free entry. So that's pretty exciting.
All right. Well, one more time, congratulations on the clean driver or clean season award. And if you got any last final shout outs, feel free to let them rip.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I just want to give a shout out to my wife. She's super supportive of me doing the sim racing. She's always watching and, there for me when I'm upset after a wreck, or there to, party after at the cul-de-sac when we have a good one. And my family for tuning in across different states. They like to watch some of the races, and we have our little family like group chat, and they'll like text stuff, and I'll hit them with the stream links, and they tune in for a little bit. So it's cool to see their support, and you guys for doing a great show every single week. It's a fun one to come back and watch. As another broadcasting company, we do learn a lot from what you guys are doing. So definitely a good thing to be a part of. So I appreciate it for you guys as well.
And I'll pop it up on the screen for the folks at home, because I know you're involved a lot with this. We've got the High Proof Showdown coming up Saturday, August 15th.
Yes, sir, we do.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. You have anything to say about that?
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. It's probably our first one of many that we're going to be doing at BAC. Our goal is to build up to a Daytona 500, where we're going to be giving away some die casts to some drivers and some trophies. So it's the start of more to come. But High Proof Showdown, $5 entries. First place gets $80. Second place gets $50. Third gets $30. At the end of the stage, we're going to throw the yellow out at lap 25, and then the top 10 we're going to wheel spin and give out $10 to one of the top 10 finishers in the stage. So trying to shake it up, make it interesting, and it's going to be a short 200-mile race at Talladega. So if you're not in it, you should definitely join the BAC Discord and, get up in there. It'll be a fun race.
Yeah, scan that QR code right now, bottom left of your screen. That'll get you right to the Discord you need to be. Thank you for joining me, Andy, and congrats one more time. I think we're actually talking to Nick next, so that'll be fun.
Alrighty. All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You as well. Let's move this thing forward. Next up, a bunch of free driver entries into Season 2, starting with the Perfect Attendance Award. Let's bring him on up and see what he has to say about getting a free pass right into Season 2. Nick, it's Jesse up here. Can you hear me?
I gotcha. How's it going?
It's going good, man. I got you up here because you don't even know this is happening, but you won the Perfect Attendance Award. You were the only driver out of literally either 99 or 100 that started every single race here in the HMS TV Cup Series. So you get a free pass into Season 2 as a driver, my friend.
Sweet.
Yeah, you don't even have to pay a dime.
Hey, sometimes it pays to just show up.
Absolutely, and you had a really good run all season. You made the chase as a charter just by yourself, which not really anybody else that was in the chase can say. I mean, I'm pretty sure every other car had at least one or two other drivers, so you're pretty unique in that you stuck it out throughout the whole season by yourself.
Yeah, it was something I just kind of wanted to. I mean, I know driver points really didn't matter a whole lot, but I just wanted to see how I stacked up against everybody else. I knew it was going to be a pretty wild roster, but overall it was a success. There's obviously some things I got to work on, but I think I'm showing some improvement. I just got to get on the right side of one of these strategies one time, and I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, I personally think you did a fantastic job. It was good to see you out there every single race in that beautiful 06 machine of yours. And just I asked Andy about it just now too, and I want to ask you, just as a Juicy Spider racing team, it's got to feel pretty good to be in the battle for the team pot all the way to the end. And you guys kind of weren't playing a numbers game against the HMS TV racing team. They had 4 cars showing up every week. Sometimes it was just you and Andy out there. So just tell us about that.
Yeah, that was we at the beginning of the season, it was kind of like a last-minute decision, really. I mean, we had a couple of us that were signed up, but we weren't for sure if we were going to have 4 or not. But we're like, whatever, we'll run with it 2, and then when we have the 4, sweet. But so I knew we were going to be going into it kind of at a deficit, but for us to be able to keep it as close as we did, that was a lot better than how I originally thought it was going to go. So, as a team owner, I can't really be any happier than I am with that. I mean, it turned out really good in the end. I haven't had a chance to look at the final points. I don't know where we actually placed, but overall it was a success, I would say.
And congratulations one more time. If you have any last shout outs you want to give here at the end of season 1, feel free to give them now.
Oh, for sure. You guys for putting this on. We had some fun. Juicy Spider, all the guys involved with that, Mike, Andy, Jared, me, Hunter, Josh, there's a bunch of them. And then obviously Brett for the paint scheme. And he's been putting out a lot of good work. And if you're looking for a good looking paint scheme, hit up Brett Myers from Bubba Myers Designs. He's on Twitter. He's all over in our Discord. So if anybody happens to be in the JS Discord server, shoot him a message and he'll get something whipped up for you. It'll look good, I promise.
Yep, and if you need help finding your way and you're in the HMS TV Discord, just let us know and we can point you right to where you need to go. Thank you again for joining me, Nick. Congratulations on getting the free pass into Season 2, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you out there.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, and thanks for having me this season.
All right, congratulations. That's going to do it for the interview portion of the awards. We still have a few to hand out, so I'll go through those now. More free driver entries. We decided to cover the entries for the 5 quote-unquote cleanest drivers. We based this strictly off of iRacing incidents. So your cleanest driver through 9 starts with only 22X is Jaden Hopp. So he has his driver entry covered for Season 2. Notice it says before tonight's race because I wasn't going to go through and do all the math to make sure these are all correct after tonight. But keep in mind, there was a 6-start minimum. So there's some guys that made 1 or 2 starts with 0X. They don't count. They weren't here enough. So Jaden Hopp gets the first clean driver entry. Diego Sainz, 97, had a really good run tonight. Only 25X through 9 starts. So he's going to get a free pass into Season 2. So congratulations, Diego Sainz. Dylan Alt, driver of the 6 through 6 starts, 27X. He was your 3rd cleanest. So he is going to get a free driver entry to Season 2. Same thing with John Evans. You were in the chat earlier. If you're still there, give me a hell yeah in the chat. With 27X through 6 starts, you're going to be getting a free driver pass to Season 2. Your final one, we just talked to him. He's got a free pass completely into Season 2 with a free car entry and now a free driver entry because he was your 5th cleanest driver according to iRacing Incidents with 48X through 9 starts. So congratulations to Andy Lewis. So that's going to wrap up the awards show tonight. A lot of cool things coming for Season 2. All these awards plus more. And I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. We're going to be doing a in-season challenge for Season number 2. So we're going to be giving out a trophy for that and potentially some prize money. So that's going to be something to pay attention for Season 2. But to wrap this thing up for Season 1, I just want to say thank you. A big thank you to everybody involved, all our fans, owners, and drivers. Helped make Season 1 of the HMS TV Cup Series so great. I mean, if you would have told me when me, Blake, and Christian had the idea of starting a league that we were going to have such a success starting this thing out, I wouldn't have believed you. but hopefully we're going to have an even greater Season 2 on tap. So make sure you tune in August 28th. We're going to have Daytona kicking off Season 2. Thank you to everybody who stuck around to the end of this awards show. I appreciate you. And we'll be seeing you Sunday night for the... Actually, we won't be seeing you this Sunday. Icon is off, so we'll be seeing you, I believe, Tuesday next for Stars and Stripes. So be sure to tune in for that. Thanks again, and everybody have a great night.